I want you to think about which identity you subscribe to currently. What beliefs are you holding when it comes to dating, relationships, men, maybe as well, or about yourself? And maybe your identity sounds like, I'm always the single one, I am never chosen, or I'm always left alone, or I'm being betrayed. Whatever the story and the narrative is, really explore what that is for you currently. And write down the beliefs you have. And just be curious what comes up. Don't judge yourself. Don't blame yourself for anything. Try not to be frustrated. This is just an exercise to meet yourself with curiosity and see where you're at right now. Because only when you have the awareness of what's actually going on, you can break that cycle, right? So do that first. Start with the beliefs, and then also write down what kind of thoughts and emotions come with that belief. Maybe you feel unworthy. Maybe there's a feeling of frustration and anger, or you're not good enough. Whatever it is, write down the thoughts and emotions that go together with the belief you have. And then think about what actions you usually take. What do you usually do when it comes to dating or relationships? Maybe you're someone with an anxious attachment style. So maybe you double text. Maybe you constantly overgive and plan all the dates and organize everything. Maybe you notice yourself, you spiral a lot when after the first date it wasn't a match, or he didn't message you back, or whatever the case. So write down your actions as well, so you get a really clear picture of your current identity. So who are you currently being? What are your beliefs? What are your feelings? And what actions are you usually taking in response to those feelings and those beliefs? And then I want you to think about the new version of you, the new identity. Who are you becoming? Who do you want to be? And then do the same thing. Write down her beliefs. What would she believe instead? If you were to have your perfect relationship, basically, whatever perfect is to you, right? But if you had that deep relationship, it was here already, you have everything, you wouldn't still believe that you're always the single one, right? You wouldn't still believe you're never chosen, because now someone is actually here that chose you. So I want you to really think about that. What would you believe instead? That version of you, what are her beliefs? I'm always worthy. I'm lovable. I'm always chosen can be one as well. And again, just go through the list of the beliefs first, and then think about what kind of thoughts you would have, what feelings you would have, feelings, emotions, and then what behaviors and actions would come from that. If you were to believe that you were always chosen, you would feel really worthy, right? And you would feel so lovable, and you would feel so whole within. And then that would mean that you would feel worthy of receiving love. So the actions you would take wouldn't be overgiving and overplanning and constantly hustling for love. It would be you leaning back and receiving, not in a passive way, of course, but you would be able to slow down more and let things play out, and you would be able to just let him plan the dates, because you wouldn't be scared and stressed out about the gap in between, right? And about having to have control over the situation. Because you would have self-trust, and you would trust in yourself, in the universe, and God, whatever you believe in. And you would trust that someone would meet you on that same level as well. So this is what it means to shift your identity. And that's a process that will take some time. But you can make that decision today to shift into a different identity already. You can claim that already for yourself today. Because that's so powerful. If you just make that decision of like, actually, I will no longer be that person who's always single and who's not chosen. I will now step into the identity of the woman who's in deep partnership and who's claimed and chosen. That already is a completely different frequency. And then every time because now we created awareness around that, so then it's easier to spot for you when those beliefs come up, or when those emotions come up, or the actions you're taking. And at any point of that cycle, you can interrupt that cycle. So next time, for example, you're on a date, and maybe first date, and all you want to do is, because you're anxious and you like him, but then you're like, instead of maybe this time over texting like you always do, you're like, oh, this is my old identity. We're no longer doing that. Now we're actually leaning back and just seeing if he's actually interested as well. Obviously, it doesn't mean like you have to not message and like not be clear on your desires. That probably needs a different video. But it's about interrupting your usual patterns and your usual thought patterns as well, not just the actions you're taking. And then over time, the more you did, the easier it will be. And at some point, you arrive where you want to be and it feels completely normal.